Here we go.
Yep.
What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? We are joined by the Showtime Trades. Showtime, how are you doing? Go ahead, tell everybody what you had for breakfast this morning, how the markets have been behaving, and what you're looking forward to.
Uh, Doing good this morning. I haven't even eaten anything today. I typically don't eat breakfast because it doesn't agree with me. My first meal of the day is usually lunchtime. So after the show, that's when I'll go eat.
Lunchtime.
Um, yeah. And then the market today, big snoozer after the big dump off. I think a lot of profit taking occurred. And now we're kind of just in this weird, choppy, slow grind mode going into the end of the week.
Yes. Sloppy, chill, grind mode. Showtime, where are you from originally? Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from California.
California. Okay. Well, let's take this opportunity to shout out everybody in the chat. What's up, Amendi? What's up, Retna? What's up, Aridzny? What's up, Oxworld? What's up? Retna said love. Now, Showtime is one of our newest creators. He actually has 2 tournaments posted this week. A free one you can go join right now, and a paid one if you are in his private community. We got a lot of stuff in store for you guys today. We have a tournament starting very soon, 8 minutes, so make sure you get into that. What's up, Retna? Retna says, good morning, intern. Owen says, sup. And we've got a lot more engaging things built into the game show this week, which I'm super excited to feature. But first, let's get right into a quick market recap from Showtime. So, Showtime, tell us, it's Friday. Tell us what we saw this week. I know we had a crazy crash. I know we had a crazy come up. Go ahead and let the people know what's been going on.
Yeah, so we're seeing a lot of selling off across the board, especially in AI related stocks. So a lot of semiconductors, neo clouds, hyperscalers, all of those stocks were selling off quite hard, but the index itself was not down that much. It did technically hit correction territory around 10% on the Nasdaq this week. We had FOMC on Wednesday, and there was a little bit of hope
Okay.
after that meeting occurred when they said that they wouldn't raise rates yet and that they would keep them steady. And if you looked at the intraday chart, the S&P 500 went plus minus $1 trillion in market cap, which
Wow.
is like wild. So basically, during Warsh's speech, we saw a really big pump, and everyone thought, "Oh, we're out of the woods. We're gonna continue going up, and this is the bottom, right?" And then towards the end of the day, nothing but selling pressure. And the big story of that is Leopold Aschenbrenner, a hedge fund manager for a hedge fund called Situational Awareness. He is a very smart individual that knows a lot about the AI trade. He turned $225 million into a peak of $45 billion. And with all the semiconductor stocks going down roughly 50%, he got liquidated
Oof.
to basically zero. And that was a big story headline. And yesterday we saw an insane double-digit pump across basically all AI related stocks yesterday. And people speculate that it's because this guy had to capitulate, and that was the bottom.
Yeah, well, absolutely insane. At the end of the day, I know Ken Griffin came in, bought up a lot of what Leo sold. Some people are even saying Ken orchestrated it. Chat, you can tell us your opinion on it. Um, a lot of AI stocks did pump, but one stock we were talking about right before this call was actually Amazon. Tell me a little bit about Amazon and what you're thinking about there.
So Amazon has been one of my largest positions for a while. I currently hold roughly 550 shares, and they just reported earnings. They are a hyperscaler. They're mostly known for the retail side of, they have a platform that you can buy that people can buy and sell things on. They also sell things on their behalf via, they have big warehouses basically all over the world. But now they kind of are pivoting more into their cloud business, their AWS, their business to business kind of revenue. And yesterday they had great earnings. The only thing that kind of gives me some pause is their forward cash flow is officially negative for the first, I mean, it's not for the first time. It's been negative before, but now it's kind of more negative because of their capex spend going into the end of 2026 and 2027. However, AWS and the cloud business, very strong. They're seeing great numbers across the board, very similar to Microsoft's Azure. Um, and you're seeing that in the stock price. Essentially,
Yeah.
they're doing really well.
They're at
I do
271 right
think,
now.
yeah, 271. So like, my current holding position is roughly up, $25,000 right now. I do think that Amazon will probably continue to go up to the 300 level. That's kind of the target that I had for 2026. And the earnings are great. What's interesting though is, because Google also had earnings this week, and they went from this massive cash flow positive giant to negative cash flow for the first time, and the market didn't really like that and sold off initially. So it's kind of interesting to see why the market is reacting one way to basically not identical news, but very similar news. So like
Yeah.
Google, Microsoft, and Amazon, all very similar boats. They all have cloud businesses. They're all those cloud businesses are growing, but their cash flow, their free cash flow is taking a hit. But I think, they got a lot of smart people at the helm of these companies. They know what they're doing. So I
Yep.
have full faith that they know what they're spending,
Yeah.
on their business.
Yeah, I mean, Bezos has been in the game for a while. What we like to do every time we talk about a stock, a specific one at least on the show, we like to guess what the price is going to be by the end of the show. So what I'm going to have you do, and everybody else in the chat, our stock today is Amazon. Over the next 3 minutes before we lock in the stock, before we lock in the pricing, everybody comment what price you think Amazon will finish at the end of the show. Once you comment it, it'll get updated live. We'll be able to see what's going on. But everybody in the comments, Amazon, it's at 271.16. That's what we're locking in at. So Showtime, what do you think? Do you think it's going to end above or below 271.16? If you get it correct, or whoever gets it closest gets $10. If somebody gets it right to the penny, we give them the $100 bonus. Tell me where you think it's going to finish, Showtime, in the next 20, 30 minutes. And then we got to quickly jump in and set our portfolio for this upcoming tournament.
I do think Amazon is kind of at an interesting spot where I think it will close below that level that it's at right now. It's had a lot of momentum to the upside. I think it's going to flag the rest of the day probably.
Okay.
But we'll see.
So do we have a dollar amount that you think it'll end at?
I think it's going to pin at that around 270 plus or minus about 50 cents.
So should we say
that's my guess?
270.50? Owen Kwan predicts 271.48. Okay.
I'll say 270 exact because that's fun.
Okay. So I'll even type here in the chat. 270. What did we say? 58?
I say 270.50.
270.50. Okay, we're locking in our prediction, 270.50. We'll see what happens. We'll check into this in a second. Now we got to build out our actual portfolio for the next 10 minutes. We could include Amazon if you want. It's up to you. But everybody, make sure you have about a minute to join. Make sure you're joining the tournament. We are about to join. The code is up here on the screen, PVXT6K. What stocks are we thinking? We have $1 million to distribute.
I'm doing a scan real quick. Let's see. I like. Things are dumping off a bit right now. I would like to get into Apple probably here. It's bouncing currently.
Why Apple? And why do you think it's bouncing?
So Apple right now, they had the earnings report yesterday. Not very great because they're basically saying that they're going to be having to spend up to create their products, and that will put pressure on their bottom line.
Mm-hmm.
Market didn't like that, but intraday right now it is finding a bottom around $300. It's currently pumping right now, so I think intraday is probably okay.
Okay.
Let's see what else we got. I'm kind of just I have all these tickers on my brokerage platform that I can sift through. Let me see which ones have decent relative strength. Okay, so Apple's one. Coinbase found a bottom. It's kind of trending up. Maybe I'll go with Coinbase here.
Okay.
Coinbase, terrible earnings, but intraday, it's riding the 10 and 20 SMA to the upside. Might be decent for a nice little continuation.
So tell the chat You know, you just threw out a lot of buzzwords. Maybe 4 of them I knew, and I'm wondering. Tell me too. When you're looking at these quick 5-minute, 10-minute moves, what are the KPIs, the data points you're looking at? Um, for example, maybe go a little bit deeper in what you just mentioned, so that our chat too, when they're playing the games every single day and some of these shorter ones, they know exactly what to be looking at.
So I think it's very game dependent, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you're playing a game that expires in 1 hour, you're gonna be wanting to look at a time frame that's less than 1 hour. Pretty much, you know, if I'm playing a tournament that's very short, I'll be looking for stocks that have decent strength. They're trading above some kind of moving average or trading
Okay.
above VWAP, which is an indicator that a lot of people like to use. Indicators, they're kind of like whatever, right? It's astrology for men. But there's some evidence showing that if you have a stock that's trading above certain trend lines, then continuation could occur. So if you're trading something that is an intraday tournament, I would look at lower time frames, less than a day. If you're trading things that are a week, 2 weeks, or maybe a month, then you would maybe zoom out, look at what stocks look like on a daily basis. So for like this tournament in particular, we're less than an hour. So I'm kind of looking at 5-minute charts. I'm kind of looking at 1-minute charts just at a glance. I did not prepare too well for this, but as I sift through some of these charts, I'm looking at stocks that are above most of the moving averages and bouncing off of them. Let's see what else we got. DRAM is one that's sold off.
Okay.
Yeah. But I don't know if it's available on your platform because it's relatively new.
Yeah, we do only offer higher market cap stocks. What does DRAM do? We could find something similar.
We have DRAM. Do you guys have Micron?
Let's see if it's loading today. Perfect, Micron. Heavy in
Micron.
AI.
Yes, heavy in AI. It sold off quite hard from the morning, but it did hit a 4-hour supply area. It's kind of fallen through a couple of the moving averages on the lower time frames, but currently bouncing so far. So I will add Micron.
Okay. Lots of predictions going in right now for Amazon. Remember, guys, it's your most recent prediction that's going to be the one to count, and we're going to be locking that up here in a second. So make sure you're locking in your predictions here pretty soon. We're going to lock it at the same time as the tournament starts. Look at our portfolio. We have Apple, Coinbase, and MU distributed mostly over Apple. Are we confident in that?
I think Apple will probably catch a bid towards the end of the day because it's down like $30 right now.
Okay.
So I think it'll recover a bit. Google, oh man, if we started the show like maybe 40 minutes ago, Google would have been a good one. It's riding momentum up right now.
Okay.
But Robinhood will be my last pick probably.
Robinhood.
Yeah.
Okay, well, it looks like if somebody in the chat was able to catch that, Robinhood would have been a good one, but we are just now starting. I'll pull up the leaderboards in a sec as it gives itself time to refresh. Let me find where that tournament went. Oh, it's going to be in the in progress tab now. And guys, don't forget we have all of these other tournaments about to go over here. All of these other tournaments about to start next week. Can You Bait Nancy's always a fan favorite. Make sure you're hopping into those. Here's Showtime's right here. We'll pull up the leaderboard. And while that starts to refresh, let's go ahead and take a peek at where we're at on the stock prediction. Boom. All right. Amazon, we are starting at 271. We have it locked in. I'm locking the predictions right now, guys. So everybody get in. Let's see if we can refresh the price. Boom. Everyone says they're in. I'm going to just refresh the chat real quick. I'm about to lock all the predictions. Okay. Yes, lock in as in no more predictions. Yep. Shout out Adesanya. Shout out Oxworld. Lots of participation in this today. Boom. Locked. Okay. Predictions are locked. We'll finalize the winner here towards the end of the stream. We have the live leaderboard right there. Let's real quick also, let's just refresh the ticker to see where it's at. Yeah, all right, still sitting around 270. Perfect. Well, while we're waiting for everything to kind of freshen up on that end, what we also like to do Showtime is we like to run mini games while the markets are moving and the tournament is going. So you mentioned Leopold, you mentioned the hedge fund crisis that Leopold was facing, and that kind of brought back to my memory a fun game we like to do, which is comparing the net worth of CEOs. I threw a few hedge fund managers into this one, compared to different stocks and companies, and I want you to try and guess, or compared to each other, and I want you to try and guess which CEOs, hedge fund managers, etc., you think are worth more than the others. So we'll
And then are we doing individual net worths or what they or their assets under management?
individual net worths. So how much they're
Got
able
it.
to, extrapolate from what they've built. So
Okay.
the first one, and let me refresh the cache here. Let's see if we can refresh the game. Reset. There we go. Let's see here. And while I work on that, let's go ahead and actually just review the leaderboard while I pull that up. See where we're at. I want to see what stocks the main people have picked immediately.
I've never actually stared at the tournament
go.
like live with its updated numbers. It's kind of
It moves.
fun to watch. Yeah.
It moves. Well, let's see what the person in first has. So you can always go and take a peek. AOI is their smallest one. We're gonna spend the $1 to get a peek to see who's up almost 1% immediately. And you can let me know what you know about this stock.
I was thinking about applied.
You were.
I was thinking about it, but
what was the metric that was moving that was making you think about it?
Well, I'm more of a looking at it longer term. I think the company itself is well positioned to do well because they are the interconnect for GPU clusters for data centers. So they are a requirement in terms of equipment.
Okay.
So that's my underlying thesis for investing in the stock. I do think it's a decent price right now, between $85 and $90. And if we do see a nice continuation into next week, then I think into earnings, I think they'll do well.
Yeah, well, we caught a good move because we've done this show probably 5 or 6 times, and almost every single time we've been all negative on all of our ports with all of our guests. And now we're up, with the exception of Micron just went down, but we're up 0.6 on Coin. Coin seems to be the biggest winner amongst everyone here. I think number 1 also has it in Coin. Yeah, and that AOI. Nobody picked Robinhood, though.
Yeah, I think Robinhood, I shouted out a little bit too late, but I think Robinhood is starting to catch some bids. It did catch some bids off of 87 up into 87 and a half. It's going to start hitting some resistance, but if there's some volume there, I think it'll pick up.
Yeah, let's go to the chat here because people are saying, everybody in the chat, comment what place you're in. Some people weren't able to lock in the tournament inside in time. Shout out Oka for good win. Sick Love is in it. Shout out Sick Love. And Kissable Viv. If you're Kissable Viv, go ahead and say so in the chat. I want you to tell me why you picked. Let's see. Did he have AOI or did we switch up again? I think he had AOI. Yeah, I want you to say what you were looking for to pick AOI. And we can also go take a peek too. Let's go take a peek at what's going on the prediction side. Let's see who's in first. Okay, in first so far, closest to that 270. Let's see what the price is if we can refresh that.
Coinbase is almost up 1% since we picked it.
Oh wow! Wow! Yeah, we're gonna.
It's really interesting. The crypto related stocks right now are seeing a little bit more strength than the rest of the market, which is very interesting.
Why do you think
Typically
that is?
It's the other way around.
Did something happen? Is there a narrative?
Unfortunately, I don't really trade too many things related to crypto, so I don't really keep up with them. So I'm not super up to date, but I was looking at just the overall trend on the chart to tell me if it was decent.
Well, this is a perfect time too while we're waiting. I'd love to get into into your alpha of the week. So going into next week, what are you thinking about in terms of the stocks you're going to be picking? You yourself have a 1-week tournament. For the chat, everybody if you're not already in Showtime's community, make sure you go join so you can get access to his $100 tournament. And I would listen right now. Showtime, if you were talking to your community who's all going to be picking their stocks, tomorrow and the next day, what should they be looking at?
I think that's honestly a tough question. We're in a very interesting spot where we saw a lot of volume with the AI trade stocks yesterday. We aren't seeing as much continuation today. So my concern going into next week is: are we forming a lower high? Are we going going through what is called a dead cat bounce, where basically we're seeing an extended trend and then seeing some bear capitulation? So basically a bounce. If it's a lower high, then the market as a whole could go lower, and I wouldn't be as focused on AI related stocks in that instance. I'd be more focused on other stocks like financials or companies like Johnson and Johnson, MRK, Eli Lilly,
Johnson
Costco.
Johnson.
Literally anything that's not tech would be stronger than trying to trade tech, especially if it's going to be a lower high. But if we do see some continuation in the beginning of the week, you know, companies that have earnings coming up, you have AAOI, you have CoreWeave coming up. CoreWeave, I think, is a decent buy the dip opportunity. Marvell is starting to catch a bid. Let's see what else. SanDisk. I know SanDisk is kind of controversial because it's gone up like 4,000% in a year or whatever. But they do have earnings coming up, and if you can catch it at sub $1,200, I think the risk to reward starts to get a little bit better.
What do you think
Um,
about the earnings from earlier today? I know Reddit got crushed. I know a few of these other people got crushed.
um, I like Reddit. I only have 200 shares though, so it's not a big position. Um, Reddit, I like investing in Reddit because I use it all the time.
Okay.
They have high growth margin. They have one of the biggest organic user bases in the world, and I think that the information that's posted there can be used by companies that are developing AI training models. Um, Market didn't like their earnings, but I think it's what the market thinks it's worth versus what the earnings are telling me, and I'm holding my shares. I think if Reddit can find a decent base around 130 or 140, it might be a decent place to add, in my personal opinion.
130,
Um,
140.
yeah, that's kind of the zone that I have. I mean, if it goes down to 120, I might start buying in big lots.
Well, let's see. So I'm probably gonna add that then to my tournament next week. Reddit, especially in yours.
Yeah, let me look at some stocks that are on my brokerage platform. I have stocks
3%.
that have been down, 5% over, or like a certain amount of percent over a certain amount of days. So like Reddit is currently down 21% over the last 5 days. I think if it can find a base, 130, 140, it might be an interesting, like, you could get in a little bit early, but there's some potential for it to sell off a little bit more. I'm very patient with my entries. If a stock is selling off, I usually give it a couple of days just to kind of gauge where the market thinks it's going to go.
Yeah, I think Reddit's gonna go down, but that's just because I don't like the mods at Reddit. I'm gonna be honest. With all of those subreddits, they're always getting away with something.
Yeah.
All right, well, the tournament just is now finishing up. Everything's finalizing. Somebody managed to get up 3%. I was trying to view their
Wow.
portfolio. Okay, our top stock was Coin, which was a few other people's top stocks. So that was a really good poll. Showtime. We were 17th place, 18th place.
Darn.
We'll make sure to screenshot that, share that out. We were closer this time than we've been before, but let's see. Let's shout out who officially won. Hey, if you're Jack Lex, make sure you go down in the chat and shout it out. Jack Lex, where you at? Jack Lex, make sure to open a ticket in the Discord. We'll take care of you for your winnings. Dang. All right, let's go ahead and see what stocks Jack Lex had, and then we're gonna go back and check the stock predictions. And then we're going to recap and tell you guys when the next giveaway is and how you can win up to $500 next week through some of our other tournaments. But first, I want to see what stocks Jack Lex picked. QH. What's QH? Let's look it up. And then we'll also take a peek at guys, I always, whenever I want to check my stocks, I always just go to the upcoming tournaments and I just join, and then I'll check all stocks that way. And then if it looks good, I'll just pick it for that tournament anyways. Jack Lex chose QH, down 10% in the last week and at a 3% run over the last 10 minutes. I think that's a record, to be honest. Chat, if you know what QH is and why it pumped, tell us. What do you think? Showtime.
I have no idea. I've never heard of this one. I typically will trade higher visibility stocks.
Yeah, me too. Well, let's take a peek at Amazon and finalize the winner here. So Amazon, our prediction was 270. Let's pull it up. Let's pull up the prediction tab. Our prediction was, let's see. We predicted 270.50. It started at 270.15. Start price on the leaderboard's off by about $20, but we'll pull up the exact chart here. Chat, everybody say what your predictions were. Some people are saying it went up. We said it was going to go down slightly. It started around 271. Chat is saying 271. Shout out Tony. All right. Well, we're going to finalize this here. Let me pull up the chart of Amazon, see exactly where we're at. Let me pull it up here. All right, we're going to go back to our tourney screen.
Pumping.
It's all pumping. It is all pumping. Let's see if we can get a refresh. 2107, 2110. When do you think we should lock it? Let's lock it in the next 3 seconds. You want to count us down?
All right. 3, 2, 1.
Boom.
What do we got?
I saw 271.16. What did you see?
I saw that as well.
271.16. All right, I'm going to lock down right around there. 271.16. Okay, 271.16. Let's go through the chat and see who got closest to 271.16. I see a 271.2. I see a few of these. 271.42, 272, 271.15. Ogbu Emmanuel had 271.15. He's winning so far. 271.47. Ogbu, I need you to say if you're in the chat right now so you can claim the winnings. Ogbu, if you're in the chat, shout it out. I think that is who's closest so far. Ogbu at 271. That's who we're also seeing on the back end locked in closest. Ogbu, you locked in 271.16. Amazon was a good stock to choose for this, though. We should have chosen it for our main portfolio. It's going quick.
I mean, if you chose it for the main portfolio, it would have been pinned, so it would have been probably just 0%.
Yeah, I guess that's a good point. That is a good point. Maybe we would have gotten into it when it dipped a little bit right after we locked the prediction. Well,
timing's everything with the tournament, so.
Ogbu's in the chat. All right, Ogbu, you were 1 penny off from the $100 grand prize. Thank you so much for locking it. Yep, he's here. Shout out Retina. I know you were close. Well, everyone, the next game show for next week is featuring Ivan Patricky. Over 300,000 followers. It's going to be Friday at 2 p.m. EST. We will be running everything back, and we're going to be adding another mini game. There's also tons of tournaments to join this week featuring Showtime. Showtime, if they want to join your $100 tournament and get some more alpha from clearly, you know what you're talking about, how can they do that, and where can they find you?
You can find me on basically any social media platform minus X. I'm on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook. My handle is showtime.trades. And I have my tournament link on my Discord. So if you go to any of my socials, my Discord link is on basically all my pages. So it's free to join. You can join the Discord. I got some online, some free lessons in there, free resources. And then I also have a community where I talk a lot with people who are interested in investing and trading.
Sweet. All right, well, join his Discord, join his Instagram if you want to get into that $100 tournament. Come back next Friday at 2 p.m. EST. We're running it back with Ivan. He's also going to be showing us his strategy on how he's been able to become such a good trader, especially in these Gamestock games over the last few months. Showtime, thank you so much for joining us. I know we're going to be seeing a lot more of you over the next few months, especially featured with Gamestock. Thank you guys, everybody, for joining. Go follow Showtime. Showtime, any last things you want to say?
Don't give back any gains if you had some. We had a nice bounce, but it could be short-lived, so.
All right. All right. See you guys. Showtime, I see some of your audience in the chat here, too.